Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. It's weird because so many Sundays I've always had a grocery haul for you guys, and I'm used to doing that out in the kitchen and sharing with you guys my grocery haul. And so Sundays, you know, since we got all the shopping done yesterday, it's weird for me to be like, oh yeah, today is Sunday. But we got all the grocery shopping done because today, know exactly what the high was or what the absolute like low was for today, but currently as of right now it is negative 13 degrees, and the real feel with the wind, because the wind has been pretty nasty today as well, the real feel is negative 32 degrees. So it is really cold out, guys. We've got like that Arctic freeze again. The cold is trying to get into the house, which is very difficult. The older windows in the house, which is in my room and the primary room next door in Jack's room, are still the original windows to the house, and they do have some frost on them because that is how cold they are. Now the new replaced windows that thankfully we got replaced, the kitchen window, the bathroom window, the other back bedroom, the sliding like glass door in the back as well, all got replaced. And then the like picture window and the other window in the living room were replaced years ago, but those other ones, like I mentioned first, were the ones that we replaced over the like early fall, I think. And so thankfully though, that has definitely helped a lot. Like you can feel a difference in the bathroom if you have the bathroom door closed, and because the furnace has been going, you can feel how much warmer it is in the bathroom, like compared to like, you know, the other house, the rest of the house where, you know, like it's more open and there's more, you know, like it's more open space. Whereas again too, I was telling you guys how my bedroom, I hadn't slept very well the other 2 nights. Last night I actually slept well, and the night before that I slept a tiny bit better, but there was like 2 or 3 nights in a row where I had not been able to sleep because it got so hot in my room, because basically the furnace is kind of doing what it is now. It is turning on at night a lot because it's been getting colder at night, and especially too since it had been snowing and all that stuff, so the furnace has been, you know, going a lot more regularly. The problem is that my room is, you know, a little bit smaller, and I keep my door closed when I sleep at night, so the furnace is going like all night long, and so it's blowing hot air into my room, which again too, it's not like ridiculously hot. It's just probably the warmest room next to probably the bathroom because it's the smaller room, and it also has, like I said, the newer window, whereas my windows are not new, so it is a little bit cooler in here. So that, like I said, that's one factor. On top of that though, when I sleep at night, I'm just very warm, and I had also had my weighted blanket on me, which didn't really help that much. But on top of that too, my mattress, my new mattress that I just got a couple, like 2 months ago, it's also very, very warm when I sleep. And I realized though, I think I was telling you guys, I was like, you know, I feel like it's kind of my mattress, and I knew going into it, like that was one of the, there was tons of pros to this mattress, but the one con was that it gets very warm. Now the kind though that I got, I upgraded a little bit to get the one that was supposed to be more cooling, but what I realized is that I do actually have a mattress pad on top of it, which I think is the main problem with the whole thing, is that the mattress pad is really hot. The mattress I don't think breathes very well, but I think the top is supposed to be more of like kind of a cooling layer, which is what it's advertised as. And again, I would agree to that. I don't think that that is necessarily the problem, you know, the part of the mattress. I think that it is the like mattress protector, because again too, I spent money to buy a new mattress. I'm definitely going to make sure that I protect it. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I got a mattress protector for it, and like I said, I did. But I realized that it also has like an extra like layer of, you know, like you know, kind of not cushiony stuff, but just like, I don't know if it's like absorbent or what it is, but you know, like cotton or something, probably not cotton, something that's not very breathable. I think that's actually the big problem, more so than the mattress problem. So I ordered a cooling like topper the other day, and it was supposed to actually come tonight, or today. And I was like, it's funny because even though it's negative 32 degrees real feel outside right now, I'm over here buying a cooling mattress topper because it's too hot in my room at night. And it's just, I have not been able to sleep comfortably the last handful of nights. But again too, I think because it was so cold last night, I actually did sleep much better last night. And also too, I switched my blanket situation around too, so that might have also been why, but I slept in shorts and a tank top last night. Again, on top of that too, it's not like we have the temperature in our house set to 80 degrees and the furnace is just pumping out super hot air. Like, it's been comfortable in the house. We've also though had to put space heaters in because it is just so cold, and it's very difficult to try and keep the entire house warm. Back to the mattress topper. It's supposed to come today. I think it's delayed because of the snowstorm we had the other day, and now because of possibly the cold. I don't know. It was supposed to come today. It looks like it's actually delayed 2 days out. So I think that it won't be here until the 16th on Tuesday. So like I said, I don't really care because it's so cold right now. I'm not actually, like, I'm sleeping better, I guess, because it's been cooler in the house. And so like again too, last night was not as bad. But we've been having to use kind of some tricks to keeping the house warm, which has been, one, my dad actually, the laundry room is we have a side door on our laundry room, and that door is very, very poorly insulated. So my dad actually took some, we're not using the door right now. Normally actually, that is, if we're trying to keep the house warm, we won't go through the front door. We'll actually use the side door, or possibly sometimes the back door as well, but mainly my dad normally comes in and goes out through the side door because he goes outside a lot. So like in the winter time, he normally has his like boots in the laundry room, and we use it kind of like it's a mud room, and we just go through there because it's better to have a room in between when you're opening the door and then moving into like the interior of the house before you actually like get into the part where you're trying to keep warm, which is the living room, the kitchen, you know, the bedrooms, that kind of stuff. You know, just that kind of general space in the house. Whereas again too, the laundry room can kind of be kept a little more off limits, and the cold air can pass through there a little bit, you know, or get trapped in there a little bit easier. However, because it's actually, there's like frost near the like door frame because of how cold it is outside, and how, like I said, not very, very well insulated that door is. And so my dad actually put like, you know, like the like insulation stuff, like stuck it on the inside of the door. So we are not using that door anyway. We've rarely went outside today. I mean, the dogs have had to go out a couple times today, and they've been in sweaters because even them going outside for like, I want to say when this happened before, like I don't think it happened last winter, but I want to say the winter before that maybe, and maybe even a couple winters prior to that as well. We've had a couple of these like negative 13 degree days where it's this cold. And you know, again too, we're not like we're in Antarctica or, you know, even, I don't know, other places that get really, really cold, Canada possibly, or, you know, Alaska or something like that. We're in Illinois. It's not normally the Arctic Circle over here, but we're getting like an Arctic freeze kind of thing right now. But, you know, when it gets that cold, the dogs, I don't remember what the time is, but if they stay outside for like a certain amount of time, but there's potential for them to, you know, have some complications from being out in the cold, even for just a few minutes. So like, I remember my dad, I think, was saying one time with our beagle, or possibly maybe it was even with Ike, I don't really remember, but he actually had to go out there and bring one of them in because they were having trouble actually walking, like being able to get into the house because of how cold it was, and like their joints just started to kind of like freeze up, and they were having a lot of trouble getting into the house. Like I said, I can't remember which dog it was, but he did say that there was one time when he was taking one of the dogs out and he had to go out and fetch them out of the yard because they couldn't make it back in. Like, you could tell they were trying to, and he was like, are they still trying to go to the bathroom? And they just weren't. They were trying to get in the house and they couldn't because they were literally that cold and like almost starting to like freeze freeze like a statue kind of. And I mean, they were out there for, you know, no more than a couple minutes, just trying to do their business, and kind of almost got like stuck like that, and so he had to go out there and get them. So that's why we can put the sweaters on the dogs and we take them out, make sure we keep an eye on them, do not let them out there for more than a couple minutes, and then bring them back in. The handful of tricks that we try and use, because like last night the furnace was running all night. It's supposed to be a little bit colder than it was last night. Tonight the furnace was running almost consistently last night, so my dad ended up actually turning on the stove for a while by trying to kind of offset that, you know, the massive toll the furnace is taking, trying to keep the house warm. So he ended up doing that, but he was like, today we're gonna have to try and, you know, again, get creative as well. So we did bring in 2 space heaters. My dad put one kind of in the hallway space so that it could kind of help. Again, my room really doesn't need that much help, and especially at night I would prefer it to be pretty much the temperature it is right now. It's actually a little bit warm in here, like for the temperature it is, but again too, the rest of the house is pretty chilly. It's just, again too, because I can close my door and kind of keep my space, you know, sealed off from the rest of the house, is a little bit cooler, you know, a little bit warmer in my room, but it still is, like I said, kind of cool in here, which is nice compared to, like I said, the other few nights it's been, but kind of keeping that in the hallway so it can kind of heat a little bit the kitchen, the bathrooms, you know, again too, which that's not having much of a problem. But Jack also has a space heater in his room, and then there is one in the living room as well. So we do have a couple of those going, just to kind of help with spaces and pockets in the house that have been a little bit cooler, and also too, like I said, just more or less to help the furnace, because we don't want it to be running constantly. And even with new windows, and again too, all of the new insulation that we did upstairs, and the proper you know, insulating of the attic and the roof upstairs, just literally a few months ago, the upstairs is warm. It's very nice up there. You know, my parents have not had a problem in their nicely new insulated bedroom upstairs with their baseboard heaters, which is, again too, the furnace does not have to work on the upstairs, it just has to do the downstairs, and it's struggling. So that's why we don't want to put any more work on it than we need to, if we can help offset that in some ways. So again too, also cooking on the stove or the oven is another really good thing. My mom made soup for dinner tonight. I'm gonna do chicken Kiev tomorrow so that I can turn the oven on, and that'll go for at least probably an hour. Also too, just baking things, if you're like making brownies or cookies or whatever, just having the oven turned on for a little while can also massively help the you know, keep the kitchen warm as well. I also I ran a load of dishes today, specifically because I noticed, like, from the crawl space even too, because of all the pipes from underneath the you know, the kitchen sink, you can tell too, you put your hands near like the bottom part of the cabinet and you can tell it's much colder there. So I even ran the dishwasher today, because I was like, well, it's gonna be, you know, having hot water in there, and the heat and, you know, all that kind of stuff just from it running will kind of help for at least a little while. And then also too, running the dryer, because again too, the laundry room is cold, but running the dryer heats up a massive amount of kind of the laundry room. Like, you can tell when it's not going. It's probably almost like a 10-degree difference in there when it is going versus when it's not going. So I try and have been trying to make sure that I'm like I'm all caught up with laundry right now. So I'm gonna start washing people's bedding during this week to try and just, again to keep things running. And, you know, again, if it's something that we need done anyway, which we can, you know, get washed. Jack said he could use his bedding being washed. My parents probably could. I could, you know, wash my stuff as well. Just knowing that, again too, that plus just regular laundry and stuff like that, we can get all of that done and help keep the house warm in that sense as well. And again, just trying to take a little bit of that toll off the furnace, you know, will be a massive improvement. But there's, again too, only so much that a poor furnace can do, even with, again, new windows, new insulation, new you know, a lot of stuff, without, you know, I mean, the one thing we don't have is a fireplace, and if we did, we would probably use it. But, you know, again, those kind of things, we just, there's a lot of stuff that when it's negative 32 degrees outside, you gotta get creative in trying to help keep the house warm as possible. Again, to limiting outdoor, you know, you know, trips outside and opening doors and that kind of stuff to try and help keep the house warm. And then also too, just bundling up, knowing that it's probably not gonna get to a nice 75 degrees in the house. You know, you're not keeping it at 80. You're probably gonna have to bundle up. And like, I noticed too, like walking around in the house, the floors are cold. The crawl space is cold. So that is, you know, like wearing slippers and socks and all that kind of stuff just to, you know, stay, kind of keep that extra warmth a little bit. I honestly too, I was in sweatshirts and sweatpants today, and I was like, I'm actually kind of comfortable. Like, you know, normally I'm almost always cold, but I've been wearing a lot warmer clothes recently as well, like, and have been not trying to stay bundled up, but again too, if it's a day where I'm like, I'm not going out, I'm putting sweatpants on. Normally I used to like never wear sweatpants. I was always like, I have to wear jeans because I just feel like I, you know, like I don't know, I'm not dressed unless I'm wearing jeans. Like sweatpants just feel too lazy to me. But I was like, I don't care, I'm not leaving the house today, I'm wearing sweatpants, I don't care, nobody's going to see me, I'm going to lounge around pretty much all day today anyway, which is what I did for the most part. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna wear sweatpants. I was nice and toasty, like I said, considering, because I remember the last time it was like this again too, it was a real big struggle in trying to, you know, especially with all the old windows and stuff like that, like the kitchen was constantly cold. And I would have thought too, my mom said it, she was like, I would have thought with, you know, the new garden window that we have in the kitchen that it was going to be worse, you know, because of just like the glass and everything like that, and it's more exposed to the outside. But it actually lets the sun in too really well, so it actually does kind of keep the house a little bit warm because the sun's shining in, and you know, like during the day. But it also very well insulated, and I think does probably a much better job than the old drafty windows did, even with it not being, you know, like, I don't want to say it's energy efficient, but again too, with just regular sliding, you know, windows and stuff like that, like 2-pane glass windows instead of like, you know, garden window, it would probably be more cold. But it doesn't, I have not noticed a difference at all. And like I said, and it feels warmer in there than it has, you know, like I said, the last time that we kind of had this Arctic blast sort of thing that ended up coming through. So it's only supposed to last for a handful of days. I think by like Tuesday next week, or maybe even the end of the week or something like that, it's actually supposed to rain, meaning that it's going to be like, you know, probably close to 30-40 degrees or something like that. So this is not going to last for very long, but it stinks when it's like this, and you know, it's pretty miserable to be outside. Like I said, I feel bad for my little puppies who have to go out there and go and do their business out there, because yeah, that would not be fun if you had to go and, you know, go into negative 32 degrees just to go and do your business, like and just have one little sweater on. I'm so sorry. Do you guys have to go and do your business outside? No, I won't make you go out again. Charlie was actually fighting Jack. Normally he, as soon as Jack asks, he's like, do you want to go outside? Charlie gets all excited and he's like, yes, and he runs to the door. So at the very end of the day today, he was like, Charlie, you want to go outside? He didn't want to move. And Jack was like, I know it's cold, buddy, we have to go outside though. So no, now they think they have to go out again. They're like, please, Caitlin, no, we already went. That was the last time, you promised. Anyways, I'm gonna take a shower now and get to bed. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. Jenny Pieces tomorrow. So bye guys.